Hello, hello. Good morning, mga ka-Daisyness. Um, Today is the last day of my work week. At sinimulan natin yan sa cravings. It's just a Saturday and I want to feel happy because ito yung grabeng day. So, nag-arrange kami dito ng around 90 to 100 kids, no? Kung kompleto sila. And kapag ganun kadami yung kailangan mong turuan ng bata, no, as a leader, then you have to be prepared. So, ang laki ng kape natin, no? Normally, I would look into the groups, no, and the components that would be part of the program for the session. And it would be nice to have out-of-the-box activities for the children. So, bibigyan ko kayo ng isang example ng ganong activity. Kasi, hindi tayo, it's okay to give children worksheets for them to master the skills that you're asking them, that you're targeting for them. But it's also very critical that you really pay attention to the kind of material that you give them. So, itong word ladder is one example of an activity that is so galing talaga na nakaisip, no? Pero kasi naman Rasinski to. So, you know. If you know, you know. Okay. So, for example, there's a word bucket at the bottom. And then, you have to get your next word from that. So, it says here, take away the last two letters of bucket and then that's your next word. So, hindi lang yung vocab, no, yung na-enhance dito, but also following direction skills. And then, knowledge of words that are not in the Filipino context. Kasi we don't really use, well, you can hear some people using box, but for money, but, you know, it's not our common practice. So, if you take away the two letters in bucket to mean another word for dollar is a buck. And then the next part here, it says, I fell off my bike, blank, I wasn't hurt. So, may usage din, no? Hindi lang siya limited to definition, hindi lang siya limited to spelling, but it also puts words in use. So, ito yung gusto nating ipaglaban talaga in terms of vocabulary and grammar instruction, that they be functional, that they can really be part of the child's speaking and writing vocabulary. So, take away the last two letters of buck and add one. So, the answer is but. I fell off my bike, but I wasn't hurt. And then a tiny amount of food. I would like a blank of bread, please. So you're going to change the vowel in but to mean a tiny amount. So bit. O, diba? Parang, it doesn't only make you think of what word that is, but you have to pay attention to the vowel. So that means you would do phoneme manipulation, right? So if I have 5 vowels and I would put them there to think of something that means a small piece, then you would do bat, bet, bit, and bought. And most likely it's bit, right? And then food used to catch fish. You add a vowel after the first letter. So if it's bit, after the first letter is B, that's where you add your letter, and it should be a vowel. So again, the child will, if the child has a rich vocabulary, the child will know right away that it's bait. But then if the child would have to put in all the vowels to think which one would sensibly fit, then there's phoneme manipulation again. What sounds, what vowel combination would have that? And so on. Last two items, to scoop water out, I helped blank water out of the leaking boat. Change the last letter of bait. So you would know that's bail, bail out. And then if you're unsure, the last one would be Jack and Jill carry this up the hill. Remove the first letter. It's bail to pale. So you can see na if you didn't know the bail, the word bail, you can go straight to the top word and use that to help you figure out the one at the bottom. So, paano yun? Kapag ikaw ay may cognitive flexibility na gumamit ng bagong strategy, kung nahihirapan ka with a current task, no, then that's executive function. One sheet, guys. One sheet. Layo ng narating.